Hello everybody, it's Makito. I hope everybody's having a good day. You guys had a good day so far. We have a big slate when it comes to Saturday. Obviously, I didn't have a video over the last couple of days. Either was no games or small slates, and I didn't find anything I liked. I always let y'all know in my Discord as well when I'm not gonna post. And as I always say, I just rather not risk posting bad picks. I'm not gonna force any plays. I'm only gonna post what I like, quality over quantity. Hence why I'm posting today. I found plenty of plays for this Saturday slate. Any pictures that you see on the screen is from the data app called Outlier. You get a 7-day free trial with my link in the description. There's no reason not to try it. If you don't like it, you can always cancel it. But when you use my code, you get access to not just soccer, but all sports, NFL, NBA, college sports, whatever it might be. It's a great resource app. You can find a lot of plays based off of home, away, matchup, minutes played, team injuries, all of that. A great resource app you can use, and it helps especially when you want to make bets on sports that you don't necessarily know much about. Like if you're watching this and you don't watch a lot of soccer, it's a great app to find a lot of plays as well. So link for that in the description. And if I have any added plays, as always, there will be in the pinned comment. Never guaranteed that I'm gonna have extra plays, but when I do post them there. But I'll get straight into my plays. And the first place that I found that I like is Trevoh Chalobah to go higher than 4.5 clearances away from home for Chelsea, going up against Bournemouth. He's gone over in 7 or 13 games so far this season. He's averaged 5.23 clearances in those games. He's averaging a little over over 5. We need him to get 5. Every single miss that he's had so far this season has been against top 10 teams for clearances. And when I mean top 10, that means they don't give up clearances. On the other hand, according to Outlier, he's on over this mark in 6 straight games so far this season against bottom 10 teams for clearances, which means playing against opponents that tend to give up clearances to opponents. And in those 6 games, he averaged 8.33 clearances. We need him to get at least 5. All of those games, the games were close with the winning margin between either team either being a draw or winning or losing by 1 goal. And I anticipate the same thing happening here. 1 game ended in the draw and 1 game ended in the win by 1 goal. In both of these games against these 2 teams last season as well. Again, I anticipate it being a close game. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for him to get those as well. Bournemouth are an aggressive team. When they have the ball, they're constantly looking to attack, and especially they like to cross the ball a lot, which just means more chances for him to get. In those 6 games against top 10 teams or bottom 10 teams in which he went over, out of those 8.33 clearances, a little over 5 were headed clearances. You get a lot of those from stopping opponent crosses, so that's just good for us. And then we did take Bournemouth for a play last game as well when they played against Everton. They lost that game. They struggled on offense, but and they only took 5 shots and failed to score. But other than that, they still were giving up clearances because they were constantly trying to cross and find chances. So even if they don't shoot well or play well, there still will be opportunities for him. The opposing center backs had 8 and 6 clearances. We just need 5. It's a good line. I like the matchup. Trevoh Chalobah to go higher than 4.5 clearances. The next play that I found that I like is Jeremy Doku to go under 3 shots assisted at home for Manchester City, going up against Sunderland. It is a good matchup, but this one you can just call it a gut call. I like to have these gut calls, I guess you can say, every so often. But something just tells me this line is too high at 3.0. In 10 games so far this season, he's gone under 4 and 7 of 10. So he hasn't gone over this mark very likely when he starts the game. And there are a lot of good other playmakers around him. It's not like he's like the only playmaker. And he's not their set piece taker anyway. So when they get corners and free kicks, he's not the one taking them. The only times he gets those shots assisted is from him dribbling down the wing and passing it down. But again, there's a lot of other good playmakers around him in this team, like Cherky, Foden, and Reinders. And in those 10 starts, he's only played the full game in 1 of those 10 games. And he got subbed out before the 80th minute in 7 of those 10 games. There's a good chance he'll get subbed out in this game. Besides, the next game after this is an away game against Real Madrid in the Champions League. And Doku will be integral to that game. So I anticipate him getting subbed out in this game as well. I'll be surprised if he plays the full 90. He gets subbed out in most games anyways. And that's good for us if we're taking it under. And if you look at his games last season in which he played at least 45 plus minutes, he went under 4 in every single game. He pushed in a couple of them. Obviously, he pushed in a couple this season as well. But last season, he didn't go over this mark in every single game. He is having a good season, but I just feel like this line is a little too high. I would fade at 2.5 just because he could get that third. But at 3.0, you could take the push, and it's better than losing. So I like the line. Jeremy Doku to go under 3 shots assisted. And then the last play that I found that I like, I have a third, and that's Manuel Neuer to go higher than 2 saves away from home for Bayern Munich, going up against Stuttgart. It's a good line for a keeper away from home, regardless of the team, regardless of the matchup. He's had 2+ saves and 2 of 4 away games, so not too great. But the 2 games in which he went under were against Augsburg, who allowed the 8th least saves, and Frankfurt, who allowed the 4th least saves. Now he has a great matchup against Stuttgart, who on average allowed the 3rd most saves to opponents at 3.8. And when it comes to the amount of shots on target that Stuttgart take, there's a big difference when they play away from home compared to at home, which is where they're playing now. They go from on average taking 4.7 shots on target away, which is still not that bad, all the way up to 6.6 at home. So that's even better for us. They get a lot of shots on target at home, a lot of opportunities for him to get those saves. And in general, over the last couple of away games for Bayern, they have been a bit leaky on defense. When it comes to shots on target that they've allowed in the last couple games, they've allowed 7, 8, 4, 9, and 7 shots on target. That's a lot of shots on target that they've been allowing to opponents a lot lately. And if you look at the games that Stuttgart has played this season, in 21 games, the opposing keepers have had 2+ saves in 20 out of 21 games. All but 1 game across all competitions this season, opposing keepers against Stuttgart has had 2+ saves. That's a 95% hit rate that he gets at least 2. And that includes the very first game of the season in the cup game in which Stuttgart played at home against Bayern, and Neuer had 4 saves. So they've already played once before, and I think they're either underestimating Stuttgart or overestimating Bayern's defense. And at 2.0, I like the line and the matchup. You could take it at 2.5 if you want to, but at 2.0, I really like this line. Manuel Neuer to a higher than 2 saves. Before I get into my money line play, as always, I really appreciate if everybody liked the video and commented as well. Great way to support the channel. Takes just a second. It helps boost the video out to more people, the YouTube algorithm. Again, it takes just a second. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Turn on notifications so you're notified when these videos are out. And I do also let y'all know in my Discord, which is linked in the description, which is completely free. I do not hide any picks. I give away all my picks for free in this YouTube video and the pinned comment. Again, the Discord is for those. I also let y'all know when I have added plays. I let y'all know when I post. Let y'all know when I don't post. And then if I have plays for a day where I don't post, I do sometimes post them there on the Discord as well. And it's a great community. People post their own plays. People just talk during the games. We were having a lot of discussions during the World Cup draw, which is very interesting as well. I've thought about maybe when it comes to getting close to World Cup time, maybe just for fun, make my own video, thoughts on the World Cup, my predictions and stuff like that. So just in general, it's just a great community. So link for that in the description. The only form of premium that I have is my YouTube membership, which is linked as well. You get access to the videos early. So if you're not a member, those that are already got the video and all the picks before everybody else. And you could also avoid potential bumps that might happen. And it's also a great way to support the channel as well financially if you're interested in that. Link for that in the description. I mentioned Outlier in the beginning, so I really want to thank anybody and everybody who supports me in any way. And I'll get straight into my money line play. I got a 2-legged slip. Both of these are in the English Premier League. I got for -128. 2 home teams. First one is Man City to go over 1.5 goals at home, going up against Sunderland. You can say this kind of contradicts the Doku play, but they can score without Doku being involved anyways. Sunderland have impressed everybody so far this season. They're yet to lose at home, but when they played away from home, they were winless in 5 of 7 away from home. And if you look at the amount of shots allowed that they have given up to opponents, there's a reason why they've played good at home. They've allowed 12.9 shots at home, all the way up to 17.3 away. That's a big difference, and that's very dangerous against a good and great offense like Manchester City. City have had 2+ goals in 6 or 7 games so far this season in the Prem. That's an 86% hit rate. The only game in which they weren't able to score was in the very first home game against Spurs, but since then they've had 2+ goals in 6 straight home games in the Premier League. Their offense is fully healthy. In the last 2 games, they scored 3 goals and 5 goals. They're a clinical team. They've converted 43% of shots on target so far. Sunderland in general have conceded in 71% of games, 10 out of 14, and I just don't see them stopping in Manchester City side. They're going to have plenty of chances. They just need to convert them. Holland's been playing great. Turkey's been playing great. Foden, everybody's been playing great. And at home, I don't see them stopping this Manchester City side. Plus, if City want to win this game, 1 goal might not be enough. So I like Man City to score at least 2 at home going up against Sunderland. And the second one for this slip is Newcastle to go higher than 1.5 goals at home for Newcastle, going up against Burnley. They have a great matchup here, playing against the second worst defense. They've conceded 28 goals in 14 games, so that's 2 goals on average. But if you look at their home and away, they've conceded 7 goals and 7 at home, which is 1 on average, all the way up to 21 goals and 7 away games. That's 3 goals on average conceded. Away games in which they have played, opponents have been able to score 2+ goals in all 7 away games that Burnley have played. So 100% hit rate when they've played away from home. And Newcastle have scored 2+ goals and 5 out of 7 at home, 71% of games, which is good. They have scored in all 7 games at home, so it's just where they get that second goal, and they have a great matchup here. And just in general, Newcastle tend to play better when they play at home. Plus, Burnley also on average allowed the most shots to opponents a game at 16. So Newcastle will get those chances, and Newcastle go from taking on average 10.6 shots away up to 14 at home. So it's a great matchup here. Burnley have lost 5 straight games now. They're in terrible form. They also average the least possession a game at 40.9, and just overall great matchup for them at home where they play better. Going up against a really bad team when they play away from home, and Burnley, I like to play. Newcastle to score 2, paired with Man City to score 2 for -128. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll quickly go over last video's picks. It was a weird day. It wasn't a great day when it comes to the player props. I only had one that hit, and that was Minte, the safe play to take at least 1 shot. Noah Lang did DMP, and then I had Morgan Gibbs White to take at least 2 shots. He ended with 0, and then I had an added play of Granit Xhaka to get at least 40 passes, and he ended with 38, so he went right under. That one, Sunderland took the lead, gave up the ball, and Liverpool ended up tying towards the end. So again, overall, wasn't the best day when it came to player props, but had a couple days off, have a big slate here for Saturday. I anticipate bouncing back. Anytime I have, I guess, bad days, I do hopefully tend to bounce back. Knock on wood, I've been following the channel for a while. I like these plays. If I have any added plays, as always, they will be in the pinned comment. And just thank you to anybody who supports me and generally gives me words of encouragement. Just keep supporting the channel even when I'm not posting. Just support me when I have bad days. Y'all support me. Obviously, when I have great days, y'all support me. It helps me stay motivated to keep making these videos. I like making these videos. I like looking at the numbers. I like trying to help us make money. I post all this for free. So again, it's just a hobby that I love to do. So again, thank you everybody for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate y'all. I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.